Hello. Today we'll be discussing about Tumblr and how it is different and the same to the mainstream social media platform that is Facebook. So, Tumblr. When we hear the word Tumblr, we usually picture in our minds that it's a blogging platform where we can share our interests, for example, like pictures, videos, etc., etc. Whilst in Facebook, we could be doing exactly the same as Tumblr, albeit there is a difference in them, which we'll be discussing starting now. So, Tumblr. Tumblr is a social media app that is not that famous compared to Facebook, since Facebook is bit mainstream than Tumblr. As we all know, Tumblr is a blogging platform which is not really that into blogging but is actually a microblogging platform since it does not only involves in people blogging on their shared interest. So, as we all knew, what is Tumblr? Social media platform. That is one. It is a microblogging site which not only saves few people from having to scour the internet for information on interests that other people may like, but also it will help create a group wherein people don't necessarily be acquainted to be having the same interest and looking for something that people are not comfortable asking other than people who have the same interest. So, Tumblr versus Facebook. This is their similarities. In one, the first topic that we'll be discussing is the content sharing. So, the content sharing in Tumblr is very much like Facebook, wherein you can post anything from ranging from words, text, any documents to pictures and videos, sometimes GIFs, and other times you can have a link to other websites wherein people can click it and they will be transported to another website. Next is the access of multimedia and other information. Just like I've said, people were sharing their content, like examples of multimedia such as a compounded pictures and videos and other such information. Next is their connectivity. Since you can customize your blog as to who can see your posts from time to time, it is basically the same as with Facebook because you can actually just share any post and you can edit to who can see your post, ranging from your friends to everyone that is on a public server, and sometimes just a select few, or sometimes even just you. You can post something on Facebook that only you can see if you're too embarrassed to ever post it on your public information site. So, we've moved on to its differences. Tumblr versus Facebook. The customization of profiles. In Tumblr, you can actually have a group of people with no connectivity with each other whatsoever. Like, you're not friends or anything, you just have the same interest and you are drawn to a certain group because of that interest. It is there where you're not required to actually be creating a group, but you can post some information regarding some interest you may have interest, and you basically don't need to worry about having to send a friend request because let's face it, most of us don't like to request someone we're not comfortable enough to be giving our personal information to. Next is the restrictions. The restrictions in posting any sort of link or any media that we want to post on these sites are very much different. In Facebook, there is a very strict restriction on what you can post, unlike in Tumblr, where you can basically post anything ranging from any family photos until to basically porn. While in Facebook, it is very much any sort of nudity or porn that is mentioned there is basically denied access immediately if it is caught by Facebook, or anyone may report that to the administrators. Next is the interest of users. This is where it gets dicey, since connectivity is also a similarity between Tumblr and Facebook, but it is also a form of difference between the two apps, because in Facebook your users need to be friends first before you can actually have any sort of connectivity, unlike in Tumblr where there's basically no adding of friends, etc., etc. So when in Facebook, if you're not friends and you have basically the same interest, you have to create a group wherein people would actually need to find it. So it is quite hassle, and basically due to the restrictions as mentioned before, it can be a bit people would be you know, it's not that good if you're having a multi deeper discussion wherein people can actually have a organized view. I suggest you use Tumblr, wherein Facebook is basically more on communication between individuals, wherein you don't necessarily need to be in a group, unlike in Tumblr where there is anonymity, wherein someone is just anonymous, but you just know that that guy has the same interest as you. And with that, as you can see, Tumblr is different than Facebook because it provides a some sort of anin- anonymity, wherein basically you're just anonymous, and in Facebook your friends and your parents can actually see you, so there is a hassle of actually editing on who can see your post. And that's where we end today. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.